My total years in the docks is 37 years to date. I've seen many changes in the years I've been here. There would have been about 3,000 dockers or stevedores in the port. I was in gangs of 16, 20 men at a time working. Containerisation has definitely revolutionised the industry. They come from all over the world, from the Far East, India, South Africa, America, all parts of the globe.
It's the second biggest port in the UK. Not only is it important to the city of Southampton for the number of people it employs, but the periphery as well, the extra add-on jobs that are involved within the port of Southampton. It's seen a massive growth from what was a 5-crane terminal when I started to a 12-crane terminal now. The throughput has more than doubled in that time. We've recently invested in new cranes, 33 new straddle carriers and 8 new empty handlers, which can stack empty containers 8 high in our terminal.
It's all headed from a central control room, and their information is then relayed from the control to these carriers, and the method is what they call RDT, radio data transmission. In these machines now are very, very high tech, very safety conscious. It's a very, not a lonely job, but it's a very independent job now.
Before containerisation, certainly the 60s, you'd have a ship come from South Africa, which used to come to Southampton. They'd dock at 101 berth, they would be there for 4 days. Now we would turn the ship around in less than 24 hours with more cargo than what we were doing in those days. I mean, you're constantly competing with other ports, not just on the price you deliver, but the service that you deliver. And that will often make their decision as to whether they come to here or somewhere else. I think the future for Southampton is brilliant. What we've got to look forward to over the next 10 to 15 years, yeah.
As most family-owned, medium-sized transport companies are, they started off as a coal merchant or a farmer, and we've developed since 1948 to the position we're in today. Going forward, the port is fundamental to their growth within Meachers. The range of services we offer, the freight forwarding, the warehousing and the UK distribution, are really geared around imported and exported goods. The communication processes have to be an awful lot more clever. The tracking systems, PDAs, proof of delivery management, all the things that you would expect to do are now becoming automated. Things like the internet access and global communications have allowed us to develop relationships that 10 years ago probably wouldn't have been possible. The global economy, or the change in the global economy over the last 10 years has fundamentally changed the range of services and how we conduct our business. We have gone to more stock management, more facilities management, more contract management. Now we have all sorts of trunking operations, hub and spoke systems, pallet networks. We have strategic alliances across the UK and across the world. So it's allowed us to be, the more creative we are with solution finding, the more cost efficient we are, the more chance we've got of being successful in our business. So it's given us more to play with.
All the statistics and the data suggests that people who are unskilled and haven't got any qualifications are going to find it harder and harder to get a job. Here at City College, what we're trying to do is to help students come to college and work in a place that looks and feels like the environments they're going to be in when they get out into the adult world of work. So we are training local people for local jobs, but we're also giving them the ambition and the aspiration to take them wherever their dreams will take them.
It's quite hard for a school to find somewhere that gives all dimensions to the real world, but the airport's a very good example that somebody can succeed from whatever background or ability range that they have, and they can all see that working in a community like an airport would give them a real sense of purpose. In fact, the airport placements have become very, prize opportunities.
Work experience just completely opened my eyes to how to get that career that I want. It's just how passionately you feel about getting it, so it's kind of only you can get you that job, only you can get those qualifications.
Maintaining a good level of customer service throughout the day.
And it just made the whole world a very kind of accessible place, with students meeting and working with teams that weren't just about Southampton. And in fact, that's quite important for my students, in that we do need to make sure that there is a big world out there.
Our client base is all over the world. Yeah, we've got boats racing in Australia, Far East, Mediterranean, Scandinavia, USA, you name it, the boats are there. The most sort of recent high-profile project we did was Team Russia, which was a Volvo 70 for the Volvo Ocean Race, the round-the-world yacht race. Boats are just high-powered machines at the cutting edge of technology and yacht design. Our relationship with the Wolfson unit is fantastic. They're the principal tank test people around here, and there's so much benefit for everybody to work alongside each other.
The yacht work is the forte of the Wolfson unit, for which we have an international reputation. I engage in enterprise activities, which is the link between the university and business and industry. We run sometimes 200 projects a year for business and industry, and those can involve anything from testing current turbines in the towing tank to working with the British cycling team for the Olympics here in the wind tunnel.
Our efforts are completely centred on getting the design right. We've had boats that we've designed here in Leamington. This boat here was built in New Zealand. Everything that we do is all on computers, so at the tap of a button, the particular piece of design, plan, whatever, can just get out to New Zealand, in a nanosecond. We could get, let's say, a 50-foot sailing boat built here in the UK, and it would cost X amount, and the labour is X amount per hour. Or we could go to somewhere like Turkey or Poland, where the labour is half price, and the quality arguably is as good. We have seen a big surge in international sales through all the brokers and designers. You've got these emerging nations. You've got China. They're one of the richest nations in the world. You've got a lot of entrepreneurs coming out of China who are spending money, and we are seeing a big expansion.
One of the key advantages of being in and around Southampton is the proximity of Southampton University. It's a renowned area for technology and engineering excellence. At Roke, we have approximately 350 engineers, and we try to recruit the best sort of talent from around the world. Well, we do research in very wide technology areas, but it tends to be around the areas of communications, sensors, and information systems.
The building behind me that you see is directly from an investment that Siemens made with us, and has really given us a real increase in world-class facilities that we have. There are investments being made globally that have influence on new capabilities that are being introduced into the healthcare, the defence markets, the aerospace markets, and we are well positioned here to take advantage of these new discoveries into the global marketplace.
This is a fantastic job, dream job I suppose. It's running the UK's largest oceanographic research institution and one of a handful of organisations like this worldwide capable of undertaking research across the entire marine environment. We're in Southampton because the University of Southampton is one of the major centres of expertise for ocean engineering and for engineering and technology more generally, and is a very attractive place for students from all over the world.
Well, I could be many places in the world, but in Europe, in my view, the National Oceanography Centre is the best institution if you are an oceanographer. We have an amazing team of people from different oceanographic disciplines, so this is a great strength of this institution. We are trying to find out how climate change is going to affect the Earth, right? So most people think of forests as the major carbon sinks on Earth, but the oceans make a greater contribution to the CO2 sink. So it's really important to understand whether they are going to change and how.
In terms of our research vessels, we run a very successful international ship barter arrangement for research vessels. So no money changes hands, but we trade time on ships with each other, which enables us to operate in parts of the world which are remote without us having to take our own research vessel to distant parts of the world. The oceans are absolutely vital to understanding how the Earth works. They're 70% of the Earth's surface, but less known statistic is that they're 97% of the living space on Earth. So the world faces many challenges and problems, but the solutions to many of these lie with a greater understanding of the oceans. There are vast natural resources which, if exploited in a sustainable way, will help us into the future.